It's my great pleasure to introduce to you someone, a director of a movie that sticks with you for a while after you watch it. It's got a great cast, and I'm with the director, Elizabeth. Hello.
Hello. I like that. It stays with you. Oh dear,
It
you're having
does.
nightmares.
Sometimes not in a great way because of some of the horrific things that happen in it and the subject matter, but you've made a film that, with a low budget, obviously limited budget, but you've made a lot out of it. Something that when you're watching it, you're looking around at what's going on in the background even.
I feel like I shouldn't be sitting here like smiling and happy and grinning, because it is a horror. I mean, this is not supposed to be light entertainment, but the message is very important.
It is. Hunt Club is the movie we're talking about. Was it always going to be called Hunt Club, or did you have any other titles in mind?
That's all I knew it as, actually. I think sometimes with these films, you can be a little bit too abstract with the titles. Yeah. I think, when you watch a horror, you want to know what it is. It says it on the tin, and that's what's inside.
I think Hunt Club, and I took it at first value when I saw the poster and then the name, I thought it was going to be about vampires. That's originally what I thought it was going to be about, but then there's no vampires in sight.
No, I don't like vampires. I don't think I could ever do a movie about vampires. I've never watched any vampire stuff.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, talking about your career to begin with, how did your career get you to where you are now, directing Hunt Club? You have a British accent, am I right? Is that?
That is correct. That is correct. Although everybody says to me, am I Australian? And I say, no. It's only because I'm tanned and have a hat. That's why you think I'm Australian.
Trust me, Elizabeth, trust me, I get, are you British or South African quite a lot.
Yeah, true. I know, but it's okay. So I started, I moved out to LA 11 years ago with my daughter, who's an actress, producer, writer. Okay. And so I was just part of her career, really. I'd been a theatre director back in the UK for many years. And then when I was in LA, I had a mentor of mine who said I should be a director. And I said, how do you do that? He said, you just say you're a director. So I did. I got funding for the first film. Obviously, I'm doing a quick kind of speed ramp on this.
Yeah.
But it almost was like that. And then I had somebody else actually say to me that I needed to pick a genre. And I said, no, I don't want to, because I don't know them yet. I want to try them all.
Exactly.
So I've tried everything except sci-fi, because really it's just about story anyway. So, 6 years almost to the month. I think this is my 15th feature.
6 years, 15 features. That's quite an achievement.
It is. In 1 year, I did 4.
Wow. And how do you keep track of them all then? In that case, do you plan them out? Do you write them yourself, or do you just go searching for scripts to make?
No, I often write the vomit draft, the bad version of something, and then I get other people to improve it. There generally are scripts, unless I've been asked to direct. And if I'm asked to direct, then that might be my film, my script, or somebody else's. But the last one that we've just done, that's in post at the moment and actually getting distribution as we speak, was written and produced by my daughter, and she starred in it. So you can kind of keep it in the family.
Oh, that sounds good. I look forward to that, because I have a feeling that after Hunt Club, you might get a lot more offers anyway. It's a great movie, as I said, and it's interesting because you've got a great cast, but it's all in like a secluded location. Did you have to do location scouting, or did you have like was it a set? How did the place?
No, it was really awesome. It was a place called Wiggins. In Mississippi, and David, the producer, had already gone there and found this park, this huge park that could house everything, and we could also stay there, because what we like to do when we film is we like to stay with our crew, and also COVID was still kind of around, so we had to be careful. So we would all stay in these cabins. Everyone was very up for just kind of seeing what happened, and then there was the lovely little village nearby that had a beautiful coffee shop that we would go to. But we all stayed in this one area and would just drive to each location in that main park.
Wow. I think you remember what Gene Hackman said about Mississippi? What has 4 eyes and can't see? Mississippi.
That's a great one.
Yeah, he says that in Mississippi Burning, another great film. Okay, now I spoke to Casper Van Dien, one of your lead actors, a few weeks ago now, and he was mentioning this movie. How did you cast? Who you cast? I mean, you got Mena Suvari, Mickey Rourke, Casper Van Dien, among others. Did you go through a casting process, or did you know any of these actors first?
There is a practical element to these things, you know, when you're getting distribution, which name is going to be the name that brings back the money, who's going to be interested in seeing what. So there's always a variable based on who you're going to cast. I'm very fortunate to be friends with Maya and Mina, and Casper's become a great friend. So, you know, it works in very different ways. And David, the producer, has also worked with these people, and my mentor has worked with these people. So, you know, you just put your feelers out and go, who's good? Who will understand what this is? Who will bring something unique to the table?
Yeah, definitely. I'll start with Mickey Rourke. I mean, how was he to work with? He loves animals, and he was around animals on set, obviously.
Okay, let me show you. So this is Chai, and everybody who knows me knows Chai. And
hello.
Mickey is a fan of Chai as well as every other animal. And in fact, the film we shot straight after, Mickey holds Chai in every scene. Now, in this film, I don't think a little comfy white sweet Maltese would have worked.
Right.
It wouldn't have made him look particularly like a baddie.
No.
But in the next film, he's doing this in every scene with Chai. It's really funny. So yeah, he loves animals. You know, he was on set for 3 days, and then Casper was on set for longer. Mena was the whole time. So what was so great about these people is that they were just up for anything, really full on with their stunts, full on with the makeup, you know, whatever was required.
Yeah, I think it was great, the dynamic between Casper and Mickey, both different looks, but both, they had a couple of mild scenes together, but their chemistry was dynamic because they were evil, and it was just pulsating out of the screen. I think you did really well capturing that.
Which is so hard when Casper's such a nice person.
Exactly.
I mean, such a nice person. I was saying to someone the other day, you know, the first thing he did was show us on FaceTime his wife. You know, and we met his daughter, and then we, you know, you're like, oh God, and he kept saying, I'm so sorry I'm having to do this. I'm so sorry I'm having to do this. This is not me.
Oh, that's great. It's really good. And the serious subject matter that takes place, there's trafficking in it, and which is a real thing. How did you combine that to make it believable that it was part of a club that people did? I mean, it's kind of been done before in other movies where humans have been hunted down, but there's a different angle to this one with the trafficking side of it.
Well, I'm an ambassador for awareness ties and the ambassador for trafficking awareness. And so for me, having made my first feature that was along the same lines, but about a girl trying to escape from New Mexico. And then I made a short that was for everybody called Unseen, about a child being lured by social media. So to me, this wasn't actually the initial concept behind it, but we realized that in this ever-changing world, that this was something that was actually truthful, because there are clubs, boys clubs, online clubs, the internet, you know, it's constantly in the media at the moment. And so it just seemed a natural progression to push it that way. And being a mother myself, mother-daughter, you know, that really was a natural way to go as well. For Mena losing her daughter, or hoping she was, you know, going to find her. I shouldn't have probably told anybody what just happened, but you know, it's badass. But having that revenge aspect within a world where I think people in that environment, we feel so at a loss. You know, there is, what are we trying to do? You know, Ashton Kutcher tries with A24. We're trying to put things out there to help, to make people aware. And maybe this is an avenue that will make people more aware, because you wouldn't know this could happen and you're just sitting down watching a horror. So if it does something, if it can help get this information out there, then it's doing some good.
That's really good to hear. I mean, the mother and daughter aspect, I mean, if you've gotten this far through the interview, you're going to get some spoilers. So if you don't want to know any spoilers, switch off. But the mother and daughter aspect was terrific. And then you've got there's a father and son in it too, but they from different worlds. That's amazing.
Exactly. And really that was so important, because obviously as well, you see a connection as time goes on with the mother and the son. You know, what is that? What is that motherly instinct? What is nature nurture? What do we believe in this world is right?
I bet Mena never needed any makeup on set. She just looked naturally gorgeous, and she was up for anything.
She's stunning. I did a photo of her with her and me. I said, let's take a selfie and send it to the person that had directed her in her previous film, who's a friend of mine. And I looked at her and I went, oh my God, I look awful. She's supposed to look like she's been running through the woods. That's right. You know, she's stunning, absolutely stunning. But she's such a good person inside as well. And that's what makes the difference.
Yeah, she comes across that way, definitely. Did you have a cameo? Is there a director cameo in it somewhere?
Oh, no, I don't do any cameos. The only cameos I do are with my dog. I have my dog in as many movies as possible. I personally am definitely behind the camera.
What about your daughter? You were saying your upcoming movie has her as the lead. Was she in this movie anywhere?
That's right. No, she just produced this one. Right. She was behind the scenes on this one. But but she's been in a lot of others that we've worked with. Latigo, I did a rom-com for them, and I've worked with David in the past. But this next one is actually a young adult thriller. Oh. So it's going to be great fun, and we had a great cast for that. And I love working with her. You know, it's such fun.
Have you gone back to England or where you're from to ever think about making some movies down there or over there at any point?
There is potential for something that's happening, actually, a rom-com, and I don't mind. I mean, I love filming wherever. That's the thing. It doesn't matter where it is, but I definitely want the good people around. You know, it has to be a positive environment on set. Including
maybe down under to film a movie one day?
I can do that. We have friends there. I'm happy to come and film down under.
That's good. Well, I'm Sydney based, so I would be happy to chaperone and show you around for the day.
Fabulous. I might take you up on that. Careful. People offer things and I go, I'll be there. No. I'm in a situation where I can just travel and film and do whatever. So it'd be nice to come over.
I have connections up at Fox Studios where all the sound stages are, so you never know. I'll
drop my name in. Drop my name in.
Do you have a director's chair with your name on it that you take around to each set?
Well, it's funny. Should I tell you who sits in it? Chai. I never sit down. Okay. So actually, I have Chai's name on the back of it because I literally don't. I'm there. I'm watching the screen. I'm in things. I'm moving constantly. I like to be up and about. And then my poor director's assistant just kind of follows me along with my binder and answers questions.
So you're allowed to, are the rules like if someone wants to take an animal on set? I know you had animals in your movie, but so animals can visit sets, or are there precautions and things you have to go through first to take Chai?
Well, I'm sure there are rules, but you see, I always beg for forgiveness. I never ask for forgiveness. And she's with me, and she's registered as a service dog, and I need her with me, and she needs me, and she does not move. She sits on that chair and doesn't move. I mean, she's still sitting here now. She's like, okay, what are we doing now, Mummy? Where are we going?
Now that we have a hunt club established in Mississippi, according to your movie, are there other hunt clubs in other parts of America or maybe in the world? I know we saw the TV screen with different people on it taking bets.
Yeah, I hope so. Absolutely. I hope so. I think it would be great to have these groups that, you know, Mena gets to go around and basically kick ass with. And I think each story can be different. And that's what's so interesting, because as I said to you, you know, people get lured into this trafficking in various ways. So if we could highlight those ways, absolutely.
Maybe Mickey has a twin brother and wants revenge somewhere as well.
I'm sure there are a lot of people that would like to play the bad guys in these movies, you know, and get beaten up. It's great fun doing the stunts. I mean, it's one of my favorite things to do.
Speaking of actors, what about someone you haven't worked with? Is there anyone on there's probably heaps, but a dream list of, you know, a collaborator you'd like to act with, direct?
Yeah. So there are a couple, but they wouldn't be appropriate for this movie. I would love to work with Julie Andrews. Absolutely love to. I just think she is queen. And then I think from a male perspective, I do think Matthew McConaughey is incredibly talented, and Matt Damon I think there's some there. In fact, and Leonardo DiCaprio, you know, there's a kind of group of them. But I watched the rom-com the other day with Julia Roberts and George Clooney, and I just love the older generation. I hope they don't mind me saying that. You know, it's a generation that I think I really know what they're doing, and I love that age. I think they're fabulous.
Ticket to Paradise would be the movie you're talking about.
That's right, yeah.
Which was partly filmed in Australia. So there you go.
Ah, so there you go. See, I'm meant to be there.
True. And finally, like, what's next for you? I know you're in post with the movie, but you know, I mean, I'm talking to a director who's made 4 movies in 1 year once. So what else is coming in the pipeline for you?
Yeah, it would be a bit bizarre if I was sitting here going, no, I've got no idea what's next. So I created something called a pyramid of purpose. It's literally this shape, okay? And I'm a mind coach. And so this is one of my mindful tools. And I always run my tools on myself. And this pyramid of purpose has layers. The bottom layer is based on what is that be-all and end-all project I'm working on. The next layer up are the ones that I own. The next layer are the ones I've been asked to direct, and the top is the icing on the cake. Is my mind coach, my healing medicine with words. So to answer your question, there are lots within those layers, but they all have to lead to my proper final project, that big one at the bottom, which I can't tell you about, but it is a true story I've been given. And I'm writing the script as we speak with the family that it's about. And it's unbelievable. So in the meantime, I'll go and direct something. I've been given something similar to Hunt Club to direct called Snake Bit. I'm going to be directing another rom-com. I've got something in the UK. So that will keep me going whilst I get this script to a place that I really want it to be.
So the true story, can you give me a hint? Is it a sports person? Is it an artist? Is it someone in the entertainment industry?
It's not somebody you'd know. It's a family who had something happen to them. And so therefore, what happened to them is the result of where they are now. And it's a very powerful story. Again, it's about hope, purpose, acceptance, things like that. It's very exciting. Sounds
like a musical, maybe.
Not quite, but almost.
Just kidding. Okay. Well, I thank you very much. But wait a minute. If you're you love wellness and that kind of thing, how do you transfer that on to a set? Because aren't directors supposed to be, you know, pointing the finger saying do this or do that, or are you open and just laid back on set as well as a director?
It's a very good question. So I can answer that because my mindful tools help you live a life with intention. And that's what's crucial with being a director, because you have to have that clear intention and that clear vision. So there's adaptability, there's an understanding of that flexibility, but within the parameters of what it is I want to create. And also being a director is a very, you know, it can be a very stressful situation. So if I bring on the element of clarity, calmness, absolute intention, the crew follow that. And I definitely see a different change in them. And they come on set and they're like, oh, this is how this is run. Now, again, it's full on. I mean, I never go over the 12-hour working period with a 10-hour filming. So my crew love me, which is why they keep coming back for more. But it's very important to keep that direction. And I think as a director, if you don't know your vision, if you don't have that clear intention, how else are you going to have something at the end?
Yeah, exactly. You're coming across as such a nice, lovely, welcoming person, but you have some very evil people in your movie and women, young ladies chained up. Just doesn't seem right.
I know. Well, believe me, I've got my a TV show, faith-based, Pure Flicks, coming out in August. So I literally went from that to a faith-based project. But again, I think as long as you're telling the right story, as long as there's a deep concept there, and you look at it from the perspective of what is the purpose of this, I think I'd never do anything more than that, nothing more horrific. I mean, even the intimacy scenes with Jessika, I worked on very hard with her, and it was a very definite, we do not see anything, we do not need to see anything, this is not what this is about.
Yeah, exactly. Faith-based is interesting because that is such a huge market, and it's great that directors can cross over and do all genres. I think, like you said earlier, you wanted to do everything. I think you're on the right track to keep it up. You're a very talented director. It's been great talking to you.
Thank you. And I'm just going to keep on going until someone says I can't. But if everyone can check out At Medicine with Words and follow and go online and watch my TikTok, I'd be very grateful, because I'm just trying to get that message out there that, you know, just a little bit of peace and clarity and intention.
Well, what I can do is post that as a link, and then hopefully more people will see it. My final question to wrap everything up, and I like asking this of everyone I interview, can you surf?
No, but I paddleboard.
Okay, well, that's close. Sort of close.
Yeah, I paddleboard. I love paddleboarding. It's great for the core, but I'm actually afraid of water. So I lived on a boat for 5 years, and I paddleboarded every day. But I'm scared of water because, again, one of my biggest philosophies is to face your fears. And so every day I would do that, and I would go out amongst the sea lions. We had a seagull called Lefty because he only had one wing. And I would talk to all the fish and the animals and, you know, embrace that and come back feeling like I'd achieved something.
A director living on a boat for 5 years sounds to me, you could probably get a movie out of that, of all the things that happened, maybe.
I think so. I think so. Especially when people come and they just don't realize it's my house and they just pop up. I have people that are on a boat, and they call me Miss Moneypenny because obviously I'm British. And I suddenly hear from afar, Miss Moneypenny, Miss Moneypenny.
Well, I know you as Elizabeth, but I'll probably start calling you Miss Moneypenny now. Actually, no, I won't do that to you. You probably get it enough. Shark movies make big business. Hang on, you could add a shark to that, you know, that story.
It's true. It's true. Sharks and crocodiles, though, I do not like them.